Hello, and welcome to my repository.
In 2015, developer Supermassive Games surprised audiences with their tribute to cheesy horror movies Until Dawn. Its branching story, cliché but likable characters, and a deep understanding of the language of the genre has made it a modern horror game classic. After creating several smaller titles and spin-offs, Supermassive has come back to that successful formula with their exciting pitch for The Dark Pictures, a horror anthology series with shorter standalone games with their own self-contained scenarios in that familiar style. Medan is the first entry in this series, and as exciting as the possibilities of this project do sound, Medan isn't the strongest series premiere. From its split-second QuickTime event to its television-style opening credits with a cover of Oh Death, it's clear that the Dark Pictures Medan shares a lineage with Until Dawn. Taking place on the seas of the South Pacific Ocean, you follow the misadventures of five 20-somethings as they head out on a vacation to remember, until, as it so often happens, they find themselves trapped on a World War II ghost ship. What are the chances? As you try to escape and slowly unravel the mystery by discovering collectibles, you'll have to make quick decisions that can cost you the life of your friends or your own. Helping you make more informed decisions are portraits scattered throughout the game that give you a look into a possible future for your character. Many times they will warn you of a way someone could die. For some it will all feel very familiar, but it's welcoming to play a new experience in this blueprint. And new players will still find novelty in Supermassive's design where any character can live or die. One key difference that separates Medan from its not-so-distant relative is a matter of scope. Like an episode of The Twilight Zone or just 1/5 of the film Creepshow, Medan is a short story with its own characters and themes. Because of that, Supermassive naturally has less time to develop characters, and there are fewer opportunities for your decisions to have an impact on the game's events. The best anthology stories make use of their limited resources to tell brief but strong stories that leave a lasting impression and stand out among the pack of what came before or after it. But much of Medan's 4 to 5 hours is middling. Its characters are clear archetypes of horror roles, but none of them fit their given suit quite well, and that makes it really hard to care one way or another if they live or die.
Right on, Radical. I like the cut of your ship. It's jib. Don't ruin it.
The game's mystery on why the ship you find yourself trapped in is haunted, without going into spoilers, isn't very gripping. The very fact that you are trapped on a ship where each section looks largely the same, apart from one or two standout sections, makes exploring the environment rather dull. In a group setting, I found it can even take some of the energy in the room. And while it's true that this is familiar ground for Supermassive, the stitching that connects the branching scenes with the critical path scenes is much more apparent in Medan. Characters can at times go from mourning the death of a character one minute to deadpan loudly addressing the group the next.
No. No, 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 no! Okay, we're going back right now and we're gonna find my brother.
On PlayStation 4, it also has frequent small performance issues that stop it from feeling like an immersive experience. My time playing Medan, partly on my own, and then playing through all of it with a group of friends, left me feeling disappointed and wanting something more. Fortunately, the game's multiplayer provides that something more to make the experience more compelling. It's apparent through Medan's two multiplayer modes that Supermassive paid attention as to how their players played Until Dawn. Movie Night mode allows 5 players playing locally to enter their names at the start and then assign themselves a character that they will be responsible for in the rest of the game. The game will then let you know when a player's turn is coming up, and will also break down how your team performed as a whole with fun statistics. While I did play the game with a group of friends, I was not able to try out the Movie Night mode. What I did try out was the game's shared story mode that has 2 players playing the game as 2 separate characters simultaneously, and it's one of the most interesting features of the game. This mode includes scenes and moments that are exclusive to the second player experience. This makes playing through Medan much more interesting. At times, the experience can also be collaborative when 2 players need to communicate to avoid an unfortunate fate. While I can't speak for the rest of the Dark Pictures series, playing Medan with a friend online is how you can get the most exciting experience from it. The pitch for the Dark Pictures series is a strong one, but its premiere with Medan feels like a mid-season slump. While the recipe Supermassive has been following is still engaging, the characters, story, and setting of the game make it really hard to connect with. Thankfully, all of that can change the second time around as the series continues, but Medan itself is unfortunately a B-tier horror movie without much of the charm.